Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Josh. Welcome back to another toy review, and today we're going to be taking a look at another Marvel Legends figure, and today we're going to be reviewing Drax, based off of the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 film. And before I continue, um, once again, I've messed up. This video was supposed to go out Saturday, but I've actually been pretty busy with work lately. A couple of things kind of going on. Nothing major, but obviously I couldn't really make the video, and I hate doing delays because that's pretty much what I did last time. By pure coincidence, because my last toy review also came out on Monday. That was reviewing, Star Lord. So, luckily I'll put this video out, and we'll go from there. So, of course, as always, before I continue, I've always liked to at least show like the packaging. At least now that I kind of have it on hand, because I don't normally keep some of the boxes and all. I sometimes, if they're a little bit too beat up, I don't really keep them. So this is how it would look when you buy the figure. This is based off of the Cosmos Build-A-Figure wave, and I don't think I've mentioned it during my Star-Lord review, but pretty much all the figures in the Cosmo wave, they're all MCU characters. None of them are like based off of the comics or whatever, which is actually pretty interesting, especially considering like sort of how some Marvel Legends fans kind of take towards this kind of thing, where sometimes there's some fans that don't really like when you mix in comic book and MCU characters in one wave, and then some people don't like it when you got MCU characters and then a comic book character build figure. Stupid stuff like that. But I thought I'd just kind of point that out because at least there's some a little bit of some consistency going on where they're all just MCU figures. And yeah, there's a little bit of a kind of a tear here in the box, so much for that perfect condition. So of course you can see he comes with the three accessories, his two knives, and of course the build-a-figure piece, one of Cosmo's legs, and we got the side right here showing off the character and the artwork. Got the little spacecraft there on the side as well. You got Marvel Legends. Oops. I'm trying to do this with one freaking hand and a broken tripod. Oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned my tripod broke, so much for that, right? So I'll try my best to kind of maintain the professionalism behind the camera. So yeah, there we go. And then of course we have my favorite part of the box, plastic-free packaging except tape and glue. Yeah, thank you Hasbro. Jesus, thanks a lot. I do like the artwork though, don't get me wrong. But you know what's even better than the artwork? The figure itself. So let's take a nice little look. And okay. Yep, we're off to a great start. So of course, like I've mentioned last time, I'm gonna keep this, of course, spoiler free. I'm not gonna really talk about like the actual film itself, only because I haven't really seen it. So I don't think it would be really fair to kind of spoiler at least some things, or at least hopefully you guys can be chill and not spoil anything in the comment section. I just kind of thought I kind of give that warning. Because I don't remember if I gave that warning in my last video, but just thought I kind of mentioned it anyway. So without further ado, let's take a look at, how the figure kind of looks. I'm just showing you how he looks from the side, and of course on the back, you can see like the nice wrinkles in his outfit. And like I mentioned during the Star-Lord review, the costumes that they're kind of wearing is supposed to be, surprisingly accurate to like their comic book counterpart, which is very rare for the MCU to kind of do that, because obviously they're supposed to kind of deviate from the comics a little bit, especially considering Drax being a very, very interesting case, because you either know him as just Drax or Drax as the Destroyer, because honestly, despite there being so many different interpretations of the Marvel characters, Drax kind of has two. He kind of has like there's the one where he got like that weird kind of crazy like galactic like ruler type look, and then there's the one where he got like that kind of mercenaries thing kind of going on. He got all the guns and all that. Obviously that's pretty much what that version is based off of. You got this kind of crazy Drax with all the guns and all that, and obviously he's sort of like a mercenary sort of. Well, he mostly, of course, in the first film, he wanted to, of course, avenge his family and fight off Ronin and all that. Kind of get the point. Very, very nice. If my camera would actually kind of focus on his costume right here, and of course you got like their little the little icon on the chest area, which is very nice. I forgot to point this out too during the last review. When you kind of arch, you could see kind of like that weird kind of detail thing kind of going on right there. It's like a how do I say it? Because I have the word in my head. Hold up. You know what? Let me fix up this camera. Okay, that's better. Okay, like kind of like illusion, sort of, you know. Because if you look very closely, you can see like the line, you know. You see how it kind of blends in within like the articulation, and when you kind of arch them back a little bit, see how it kind of ruins it a little bit. I don't know. I mean, Marvel Legends has always done that with their figures, so this isn't really something particularly new. I thought I just kind of pointed out because I thought it was really hilarious. And of course, you got the articulation. These are very articulated figures. After all, you know, you got the double joints, and then of course the double joints on their knees, so they could do some pretty good posing, which is good for a character like Drax, you know, especially when he wields his weapons, which is pretty good. I mean, he's a pretty buff guy too. I mean, he's like really buff. Like I compare him to other figures, and he's surprisingly, you know, big and tall too, which is very nice and is very accurate. And of course, the paint job too is very good. I mean, you got all the details going on, especially in the face. That I appreciate a lot. The face looks phenomenal. Looks very great, and it looks just like how the character is. Especially when you consider Hasbro's like technology for the faces. Because if you look back at like the MCU figures, like from like years and years ago compared to now, it is nuts. I mean, I wish I had more like more the older figures because I really don't. But if I did like a comparison with those, you would see a huge drastic difference for sure. So I just thought I kind of get that out there because most MCU figures, you know, from Marvel Legends, they kind of look funny. But like the more recent ones, honestly, they are actually pretty good and spot on to like the accuracy. So that is definitely something you gotta appreciate detail wise. And of course, you got everything going on. You even see his just trying to focus on his head a little bit, show like the color of his eyes. There we go, perfect. And don't get me wrong, the figures don't always have to be super duper accurate, but it's still pretty good because pretty much the figure it looks pretty much just like how he is in the film. Except for obviously a couple things. The suit has a kind of much more bright blue kind of going on. It's not a bright blue, obviously. When you see the figure in hand, it is a bit darker. But in the actual film, I know that the costume is supposed to be a lot more darker. It's almost like some like dirt or like some like ash is like covered over the characters. It's hard to really say it, but if you watch the trailers, look at the characters and then just compare to how they look, or if you've seen the film, you pretty much get what I mean. And another thing I do want to talk about is the legs, because I've mentioned this before with the Star Lord figure. Is that I noticed that the legs were reused from like previous Star Lord figures. Now this one I could definitely say without a doubt, we've definitely seen these legs a bunch of times for sure in like older Drax figures. Which is not a bad thing. If that's how it is, like in the film and all that, that's fine. But it does look pretty weird. And speaking of articulation, he's standing very good now, but I don't know if it was just the way that he was packaged, but like he does kind of fall a little bit. But right now I got him standing up, and he looks pretty good. He looks intimidating. He looks like he wants to hurt me, but you know, so I kind of point that out there because the problem with Hasbro's free packaging deal is that sometimes they put the characters like in a weird way. Uh, you know, their legs kind of get a little bit flimsy. I know with the Future Foundation Stealth Spider-Man figure, that figure suffered hugely from that issue, and I'm just trying to get it right now without knocking anything over off of my shelf. So to kind of get you guys an idea what I mean, here he is, my, here we go. Oh, everyone's favorite Spider-Man figure. And by that I mean not too great. I mean, as you could kind of see, he's not really standing up nice and straight. You could see the problem with his legs. He kind of got that issue. He's kind of like leaning to the side over there. You could try and adjust it a little bit and fix it, and it doesn't look too bad. Like you see, that doesn't look bad at all. But like, trust me, in the package, he was like this, and like the jelly legs. So I Drax to a certain extent he does have it. I mean, you don't see it now, but like trust me, he was packaged pretty weird to the point where I was a little bit afraid that he might not stand up well. That's kind of why he kept falling down on me a couple times, but it's okay. You know, he's doing okay. It's not particularly the figure's fault. It's just how he's packaged. So I thought I kind of let people know, you know. And of course, like I said, these are much more older legs, so Maybe that does play a part in like the standing issues. I don't know. Because sometimes I pose him and it's like it's fine, but like he does fall down a lot, which I mean doesn't hurt the immersion. Don't get me wrong, still a good figure. I still love it for what it is, but stuff like that. And I swear it's not my little setup. All right, I try to make sure my setup is as nice as flat. So yeah, we got that kind of going on. Okay, here we go. Just kind of stand them up a little bit so I can show off the accessories. Alrighty. Alright. So, like I've mentioned, he only comes with 3. He comes with both of his knives and then, of course, the Build-A-Figure piece. And let's talk a little bit about the knives real quick. So, they're just one solid color. They're this grayish, like, it's got like this kind of plasticky thing going on. At least you can see the details, which it is always much appreciated. So, that's nice. As you can see right there, just so I show off. It's not it's not really, it's pointy, but it's not like super duper pointy. I mean, it's very plastically. It's pretty soft, flimsy plastic. I mean, it works as long as he holds on to it. It's okay. And then of course here's the handle. And I would show off the Build-A-Figure piece, but long story short, I already built the figure. So I can't really, yeah, that's the only bad thing. So let me just point my camera down so I could show off the weapons, at least from a different view. So I laid them down flat just to kind of give you guys an idea how they are. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be painted, if I'm being honest. I mean, don't get me wrong. Hasbro, for like, since forever, has done accessories that are not painted, so I'm not gonna like take off points for that or anything because it is what it is. It's not like a huge detriment. It's not like they're giving like completely random weapons. You know what I mean? At least he got the weapons that he actually does use in the film instead of just something that Hasbro's come up with. Because long story short, Hasbro has kind of been known to do that a lot. And listen, you either like it or you don't. So I'm just gonna say that. And oh, just the other thing to point out is that he got like the little kind of sheath thing going on in his boots. So definitely, if you want, you can put his knives there. I think that's the way to put it, right? Yeah, definitely. And it looks pretty cool. Like I say, pretty much a lot of the Drax figures reuse those legs, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe they just kind of get that idea and it's like, oh, cool, he could like hold a knife there or something. I don't know. Let's just kind of put it right there. It looks great. But you don't want to see him there. You want to see him wield it, right? You want to see him hold it and kill his enemies. So why not? Let's do that. Okay. I don't got my glasses on right now, so if I'm having issues trying to put weapons in his hands, I do apologize. There we go. There we go. It looks nice. Looks intimidating. You can either pose him like that, or if you want him to pose with the knife down, that's good too. He kind of does it either way. He's a combat specialist when it comes to that shit. I mean, look at that. Looks very cool. I like it. It's always very nice. And for the most part, I'm pretty sure that this is the same knives that he's used, for a long time, or daggers, whatever they're called. Don't get mad at me. I don't know if they actually have a weapon. I mean a name. I don't know if these weapons actually have names. Because I know like Thor, his hammer is the Mjolnir. I hope I'm saying that right. So you could kind of get some good old action, and he's nice and solid too. So it's like he don't got loose parts or anything. Definitely holds up very well, which I do appreciate a lot. I mean, what am I talking about? That's always appreciated, especially with Marvel Legends, because especially when you look way, way back, like when they first started. Oh, trust me, if you don't buy those figures new, they're gonna be wobbly as hell. And even if you do buy them new, I mean, like I showed last time in my Star-Lord review, I'm not gonna take them off because just to get them off my shelf is such a headache. I do have like the old I don't know if it was 2007, 8, or 9, Mr. Fantastic, and he couldn't stand for shit. I mean, it was horrible, and I bought that figure new, and I don't blame that on the seller. I think that's just how the figures are. And of course, to steam him up with his pal Star-Lord right there. There we go. I don't want to put him in a boring pose. Come on, let's pose him up too. Got to fight against Adam Warlock or High Evolutionary. That's not a spoiler, by the way, because that's in though they were in the trailer. There we go. Nice. They do look cool, especially when you pose them. So that's great. And I do have all the teams. I do have everybody and all the figures. So that will be pretty cool to when I finally get to review all of them. Okay, just to kind of show you just how they look. Get a good idea. All right, two on two. So that's great. You know, you got 2 guns and you got 2 daggers, so that's great. I mean, they're both allies, but they like to mess around with each other, especially with the infamous open the effing door moment from Star-Lord and Nebula. Like, they're all assholes, but it's like they're all like buddies anyway. You know, they're like one of like those weird type of friends that kind of like talk crap to each other, talk shit a lot, but it's like they're pretty close, you know. Except for poor Star-Lord though. He's sad because he lost Gamora, you know, during the events of Avengers Infinity War. So, of course, let me do the quick little size comparison before I end the video. I'm just trying to set these guys up just to kind of stand. Let me see. So, you see, okay, there we go. Just standing up nice and tall, so that's great. And he is a pretty big dude, so that's great. Oh, boy. Okay. Damn, what a difference. Speaking of differences, let's take, let me, do a size comparison. Oops. So of course here is compared to Spider-Man, like I said, from the Future Foundations universe. That's his stealth suit, just to kind of get an idea because it's Peter Parker. He is kind of sort of on the shorter side, depending on what version of Peter you're kind of talking about, whether it's the grown-up version or the teenage version. Here they are compared to my favorite Captain America figure. Actually, that is a good comparison. They're both somewhat buff, but Drax is a little bit on the bigger side. Also, I did put up a poll. I think it was at around like 6 something. Where during the month of July, I'm gonna be reviewing just mostly Captain America figures, and I already put up a voting poll. And most likely, I'm gonna review this figure for the most part because I do have multiple Captain Americas. Just thought I kind of let you guys know that. Because I know sometimes the polls, you guys do see them, but sometimes you guys don't. But I don't really blame you. I know that's just kind of YouTube doing its thing. And of course, why not? Let's add a Ninja Turtle to the mix. Here's Battle Shell Leo, which I actually did blow out yesterday, and I love this. This is a reissue of the classic 1990s version. And yeah, I didn't do a toy hunt because they didn't really had anything like at all. Oh, he dropped a couple of days. Just thought I'd kind of show that, you know, because why not? Okay, let me just pick that up. Got a good old Cap right there. I love this Captain America figure so much. I mean, it's literally called Ultimate Captain America for a reason, right? Even though there's been like multiple versions of that with the same name. Oh well. And yeah, that's about it, right? Yeah, that's it. My final rating for this figure, I give it a good 9 out of 10. I think it's a really cool figure. I like it a lot. Like I said, the only thing that does throw me off a little bit is like kind of like the leg situation, where you know he does have maybe a little bit of issue standing up. Out of all the characters, but for the most part, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad figure. Articulation is great. It's nice and solid. Painted pretty good. No mishaps or whatever. You know, looks very accurate. And it's fun. I like it, you know. Kind of makes me wish I had more Drax figures. You know, I would definitely love to try and look around eBay or so just to kind of get more. Because I like Marvel Legends, you know. I mean, who doesn't? But then again, I probably shouldn't be asking that because long story short, there's kind of a reason why I don't do Marvel Legends news no more. I'm not even gonna get on that. But what I also will mention really quick is that I do apologize for the Ultraman fans out there because I know you guys want to see more Ultraman reviews, and I will get to those eventually. It's just that I'm just not sure where to really go with them. Only because I don't know if I should wait and go online, buy the classics, and then review them, or just continue with whatever I had planned before. So we'll go from there. We'll definitely see a tour, another tour review in the future. You guys voted for Zombie Iron Man, so that's going to be the next one that'll get the review. So until then, thank you guys for joining in. Leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So peace.